Some Steely Dan. Crank it, girl. This band is so good, you probably never even heard of them.
Prez and I talked about this off air. This band is from 1972, so I go, Prez, do you even remember
Kelly?
1972?
Kelly, shut up and turn the music on.
I was going to make a 69 joke and you ruined it.
Are you reeling in the years? Throw away the time. Look at your face. You're like, what shit is this?
What does reeling in the years even mean?
Okay, just move on, Kel. Next week we'll play Time by Pink Floyd. Speaking of Pink Floyd, I want to start the show by wishing my delicious woman happy birthday. I took her to the Australian Pink Floyd experience on Saturday night, which is the world's most successful cover band. They were ridiculous. I mean, we just zoned out for like 2.5 hours of sheer musical brilliance. Did you
guys take edibles?
I decline.
You're in Canada. It's legal now.
I decline commenting on edibles, but let's just put it to you this way. We went to the Pink Floyd show.
So I feel like I would even be on edibles, even though I'd be taking a nap on the floor. Well, tell Viv I said happy birthday.
Okay, she'll be listening to the show.
I don't know why she would ever listen to this show. She has probably enough of you. She doesn't need an additional 45 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. But we're going to keep this show under 45 minutes.
TikTok.
Exactly. So I want to start, if you don't mind, before we get into football, I want to start by saying something. So I had 2 plays this week that I bet. One was Tampa Bay, which ended up being a push, and it was a hard-to-swallow push. I mean, I felt like Tampa Bay had it the entire time. But last night I had a 5-star play, which is my highest-rated play, and it was on Atlanta. -4, 4.5, 5, depending on when you bet the play. And it was a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss. And, you know, the thing about it is, Kelly, and there's a lot of handicappers out there and a lot of people who sell their plays and a lot of people who tweet out plays, and if people follow them, I cannot speak on behalf of any of them, but I can speak on behalf of me. And until you are in a situation where you actually give advice for a living, whether it's the stock market or what to bet on, when you're wrong, and it's especially a heartbreaking wrong. I was despondent last night. Like, I take losing these plays so badly. You spoke to me literally as the game ended. I called you on the phone. And I was, and I still am completely gutted over the loss last night. Everything that could have gone wrong in the final 2 minutes did. I mean, a 3rd and 1 to take the knee, and they get an offside penalty? Really? And then they don't punt. They go for a 54-yarder that opens the back door wide. Then a 50-yard bomb. Then a throw with 1 inch to spare on the last play of the game. Then a missed tackle on the 2-point conversion. Like, these guys put up in our comments, some of them, oh, you're scammers, you're a douche, blah, blah. There's no scamming involved. I bet these plays, and I don't even care about my own personal money. I win, I lose. I mean, for Christ's sake, Kelly, I'm 18-10 on the NFL season, which is ridiculously good. It's not about my money. It's about the customers. So many of these guys do not buy your season package. They can't wait for you to get on a huge run. And then when you're at the pinnacle of this run, as the run builds, you pick up customer after customer, and then it comes crashing down, and it's like it's heartbreaking for me. I want to say the moral of the story is buy my seasons, but I don't want to turn my loss into a sales pitch. So just understand this, everybody. Nobody takes these losses, especially the heartbreaking, gut-wrenching ones, worse than me. And you saw that firsthand when we spoke last night.
Yeah, as someone who used to sell plays, you're right. I feel like there's a lot of pressure that goes into it because you are responsible for your clients as well. And you're right. It always happens after you have an 8-0 weekend. You're just sitting back and you're like, I know this is going to be bad. And then the money just starts rolling in. Everybody wants to jump on board and you're going, well, I might only have 3 or 4 plays this weekend. Sorry, guys. I got to keep it a little conservative because the last thing you want to do is have an 8-0 and then turn around and have a 2-6. So I get impressed.
And they're normal corrections. I mean, nobody is going to go 18-9 every 27 plays. It's just not going to happen. We've already had an 0-3 week. I think back in week 3 was an 0-3 week, or week 4 in my NFL bets, and I bounced back immediately the following week and went 3-0. But this is just part and parcel of what we do, and it's a long-term game, Kelly. I mean, nobody is going to make money, betting just random days. Like, you got to be in this for the long haul. You've got to know what your bankroll is before you start the season, and you got to bet 3, 4, 5% of your bankroll on each play, and recognize that you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. Anyway, that's it for me. I want to give you my streaks because I'm doing great in NBA. I'm doing great in hockey. So I want to give you my streaks, give out a promo, and then let's get straight to the card. So long story short, in all sports, I'm on a 10-3 run. That's baseball, NBA, hockey, and NFL football and college football. So I'm on a 10-3 run in my last 13 plays. I'm 19-6 in my last 25 NFL side bets, which is ridiculous. I'm 18-10 on the NFL season, which is slightly under 65%. I mean, I don't know how anyone could ask for better than that. In NHL, Kelly, I went 3-0 last week. I'm on a 6-3 run. And listen, I play hockey sparingly at the beginning of the year for a few reasons. One, I want to see how the teams shape up. But also, I'm spending so much time handicapping college football and NFL that I just don't literally have the time available to truly buckle down and follow the NHL as much as I want. So, if anybody playing my NHL, you're going to get 3 to 5 plays every single week. And as we progress into the season, it will become more. This NFL Sunday, I have 3 bets. They're going up later today, and I'm going to give them all to you guys for $20. So use NFL20 as your promo code. All 3 bets. One of them is probably my favorite bet of the season. So, and I will single out which one that is. So head over to wagertalk.com. Use promo code NFL30, NFL20, and get my entire Sunday card for $20. Also, Kel, I'm excited about the show.
Good.
I'm excited about the card. There's a lot of juicy games this week. So why don't we get straight to it, girl?
All right. Well, Thursday night, one of my favorite games already.
Love it.
On the week. Miami catching 7.5 at Houston. Obviously, as you guys have been following along, it's Brocktober. Ryan Tannehill still going to be out for this one. And then Deshaun Watson off a really nice performance over the Jaguars. Prez, what are you thinking about this Miami team? Are they just absolute garbage and I'm going to waste money betting 7.5?
Well, let's quickly recap. We didn't have a lineup last Tuesday on the Detroit game, but I did say if it was in the 3 zone that I liked Detroit. I also really liked Houston last week, and we had a lot of experts and a lot of sharp money on the Jaguars, as you call them, which is a word I'm noticing more and more all of a sudden. I'm listening to these guys on NFL Today and the pregame shows, and who cares?
Jaguar.
Forget it. The bottom line, honestly, in this game is Miami. This line is shocking to me. Like Houston, yeah, they had a good game last week. They didn't have a great game. They've barely got out of any game alive.
I was going to say they could have easily been 0-6 prior to last week.
Right, exactly. And Miami is a good football team. And, even last week, like even with Brock, I mean, they held it in right till the bitter end against Detroit. And now they're getting 7 and a hook. I mean, what is Houston, some scoring machine that they can lay 7.5? This number absolutely boggles the mind. And on top of it, the over and under is 44.5 in this game. What Houston, the lines and the totals are always linked, Kelly. So when you have a team that's minus 10, you tend to have a higher total. When you have a team that's, in the pick'em range, you tend to have more of a lower total. Do they, for this game to have the favorite and the over hit, this Houston needs to put up like 28 points. I mean, really? There are games where you can combine 2 games and they haven't put up 28 points. Kelly, this game just reeks of the dog. I love the under as well, 44.5. Come on. I mean, I am salivating over this game. I mean, to use female references like we do, this game is a naked Kate Upton standing beside my bed, beckoning.
Beckoning, Prez. I love it. I'm glad we're on the same side. To start off the show, all right, let's go to London. These damn 6:30 games are going to be the death of me. It's entirely too early for me to wake up. But Philadelphia now now laying 3 over in London to Jacksonville. Why? We just talked about it. Jacksonville looked terrible. Blake Bortles, worst Blake Bortles performance since 2015. But Blake Bortles plays a little bit better in London. I don't know if we want to take that into account at all.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good trend. Blake Bortles is 2-0 in London. Because we've got a huge array of Blake Bortles in London statistics. And not only that.
I was trying to find something positive.
What could the reason possibly be? Where's the logic on how Blake Bortles plays in London? Kelly, this is a game. Listen to this pun, okay? This is a game featuring 2 wounded animals.
It's very true.
Right? We've got the Eagles against the Jaguars. The Eagles are they've been shot out of the sky. They have broken their wing and they are lying on the ground. And the Jaguar is ready to eat the eagle, except its jaw is shut closed. But by the way, Kelly, I went on safari in December in Africa in the jungle with my kids. And I actually was able to keep to the theme of sex because I really like that theme. I actually was able, and I can send you the YouTube video if you like. Not the YouTube, I took it on my phone. I witnessed 2 Jaguars having sex. It lasted a split second. It's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe there was a fluffer behind the scenes.
A fluffer behind the scenes.
But the male Jaguar, insert, boom, out, gone. Never to be seen again.
And we're done here.
So back to this football game. How can you not take Philadelphia here? Listen, they're just a much better football team.
I don't think I could take either team here.
You got to take Philly in this game. I mean, there's no home field advantage. Philly is still – last year they were a better team than Jacksonville. Coming into the season, they were a better team than Jacksonville. This year, they're a better team than Jacksonville. Are they wounded? Sure. Are they not playing great? Sure. But Jacksonville is missing Fournette. Blake Bortles is a disaster. They have very little on the wide receiving end. Their defense is abysmal right now, and they were the anchor of that whole team. And Philadelphia, at least with Philly, you're seeing moments. You're seeing a good quarter. You're seeing a good drive. With Jacksonville at this current moment, you're seeing nothing. I mean, losing at home against Houston with Deshaun Watson getting on a bus for 800 miles. I mean, it's inexcusable. With that said, and the reason I'm not betting this game is I love Doug Marrone, and he is an angry, angry coach right now. If you're laying your hard-earned money on this game, you have to take Philadelphia -3, and you've got to lean on under the total of 41.5 points, especially with the jet lag kicking in. So yeah, that's where I'm looking at this game.
All right, next up.
One sec, Kel. Before we get into that, I want to bring a new segment to this that will start next week. Okay. Guys, put up some comments on YouTube or tweet me at Prez Wager Talk. Feel free to ask us some questions. We'll go through. We'll answer them. Ask like why are you so ugly? Why is Kelly so beautiful? Does Kelly do work on her face? Are her fake or real? Like whatever question you have.
My face? Of course I do work on my face. So I don't look old.
Hey, Kel, let them ask the questions first.
Okay.
I'm not asking them. Let them ask them. We will answer them. It doesn't have to be football related. Will Kelly marry me? We've had that about 6 of the 7 weeks. The answer is no.
The answer is I don't want to get married ever, I don't think.
Marry you. Okay, on to the next game.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Cleveland off another overtime game, as you mentioned. You got stuck with the push on the Bucs. At least you didn't have a loser. I know a lot of people that had 3.5 in that one. Now we have 8s across the board, and there is, well, for teasers, 8.5s and 9s, CG and Westgate here in Vegas. I don't know what to make of this game. How much energy does the Cleveland Browns have left? How many games can they go into overtime in one season and finally be able to put together a complete game? I feel like Pittsburgh's got some revenge here. This is just a really interesting line.
Yeah, and not only that, but you have a situation where every game seems to be going to overtime, or teasing overtime, if you will. I was thinking about this in the car yesterday, and I've never seen so many games going into overtime. Look, it makes for great football and a fun afternoon. But I think Cleveland is going to get slaughtered this week. Pittsburgh coming off of a bye, starting to feel the mojo after going into Cincinnati and pulling it out at the end there. For sure, Pittsburgh is going to be in my teaser, which I, again, will have to make later tonight, and I will tweet it out. And last week, I just want you to know, I did tweet out my teaser last week, and I took a 3-team, 6.5-point teaser. I took the Chargers at a pick'em, which won. Thank God I did 6.5. I took Atlanta at +0.5, which won. And I took Kansas City at +0.5, which won. I bet 500 to win 750, and I won that. So I'm 2-0 on these 3-team teasers, and I will have another one up in my Twitter account either later today or tomorrow. But Pittsburgh will show up in my teaser. And I do like them to beat Cleveland, and I like them to beat Cleveland by more than the 8 here, Kel. And I really like over the total in this game. Look, I do like Cleveland's defense, but they haven't been playing that great of late. And I just feel like Pittsburgh, like Kansas City, like the Rams, just a super tough team to stop. I got to believe Pittsburgh is going to put up 30 points in this game. And as we were talking about earlier, a high line is a high total. I like over the total of 51, and I like the Steelers to cover the 8.
All right, Denver heads to Kansas City after that really great performance at Arizona. That was disgusting I don't know what I was thinking taking Arizona. And my super contest card, I really needed a fifth. It wouldn't have mattered anyway because I was also looking at the Bengals. Ugh. Okay, so total 55.5, 10. I need to find the last time this game was double digits between these two, and I can promise you it was the Broncos laying double digits, not the
with
Chiefs.
John Elway as the quarterback. That's how long ago.
Well, I'm guessing maybe it was Manning, but I'm going to look that up while you're talking about this game.
No
I
chance.
need to know.
No chance it was -10 against Manning. Kansas City was not that bad in the Manning era. No chance. But go to Ralph. Whenever in doubt, go to Ralph.
There you go.
You know, Kelly, look, Denver played great last week, and they're still in the hunt. But they played a really bad Arizona team with a ton of turnovers. And, I mean, Von Miller was just ridiculous. What we're seeing now, though, Kelly, which is really interesting, is we're seeing a bit of a turnaround with the Kansas City defense. You know, we've been talking about their unstoppable offense all year. But we've had we had a good game out of Kansas City's defense, and I think they're going to come around, especially when they get Justin Houston back. You know, the bottom line here, honestly, is that Denver and Kansas City, yes?
I was right. December 30th, 2012, Denver was a 17-point favorite.
You should have your moment. Maybe you should lean back when you do that, Kel.
Also, and on my birthday in that same year, Denver was a 10-point favorite and did not cover. But it doesn't matter.
Okay, so back to the game. You know, there's no chance I'm taking Denver in this spot. I can't take Kansas City at -10 either. To take a double-digit team in a conference, you know, in a division rivalry situation like this, with Denver feeling good after the win last week and, you know, really getting themselves back in the chase. This reeks of being in my teaser, but I cannot lay -10 in this game. And you know what, Kelly? I'm struggling with the over and under as well here. I mean, look, we've seen Kansas City. They're putting up points, and we know that. But this Denver defense is so stout. I got to believe they could keep Kansas City under 30, 35 points in this game, and 55.5 is an incredibly high number. If I had to bet this game, which I don't, I would take under the total of 55.5 points.
I'm going to take the double digits with the Broncos because I'm an idiot, but also because I think we're going to see a similar result to last game. More tape on Patrick Mahomes, and as you mentioned, Broncos have a little bit of extra time to prepare. Finally got some mojo back. It sounds like Chad Kelly got arrested this morning, so I don't think they have a backup quarterback. So if Case Keenum gets hurt, I guess I'll just be SOL.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to find a backup quarterback. You know, isn't Jeff George available?
I don't know who's available. All I know is they have to be better than Chad Kelly.
I mean, Jeff George is probably 50, but I don't know if you remember, there was like a 5-6 year period where any team that needed a quarterback called Jeff George, he's got such a great name. I mean, let's be honest. Anyway, move on. What?
He's just got two first names.
Yes. Well, it's better than like Tim Timpson, fullback for the Buffalo Bills 10 years ago. Bet you didn't know that. Let's move on from that boring game.
All right.
Boring. It's going to be a fun game, but I ain't betting it, so therefore it's boring.
Okay. New York at Chicago. Both these teams I played last week. Both these teams didn't cover. Both these teams looked fairly terrible for the most part of the game. All right, Chicago all of a sudden laying a touchdown at home. Total mostly 46 across the board. God, I don't know if I like either side in this one.
Well, you know, I mean, look, I told you not to bet against Tom Brady last week. I tell you not to bet against Tom Brady every damn week. And, you know, there were a lot of people all over Chicago last week. And I didn't like the play. And I mean, you know, New England, we'll talk about another time, but my God, are they putting it together? I mean, 38 points on that defense, just ridiculous. But here's the interesting thing matchup-wise about this game. The New York Jets are a very run-heavy team right now, where New England is throwing the ball a ton. And I think from Chicago's perspective, the New York Jets just do not match up well. Chicago's front seven is ridiculous. They are going to be able to stop the run here, and they're going to force Darnold, have a yawn, they're going to force Darnold to throw the ball, and that's not the New York Jets' strength at all. I really like Chicago -7 in the spot, and I think and I know they're going to end the game at 4-3 on the season. I like Chicago at -7, and also Kelly, 45.5 is a very large number for a team with Chicago's defense. I think this is a bit of an aberration number, if you will, because with 38 points being put up on Chicago last week, I think that's what put this number up a bit high. When I did my handicapping on this game yesterday, I was around 41.5. And so I'm looking at a 4-point discrepancy, and those are very big 4 points, because if games get to 20-20, which is 40 points, usually they end on a field goal, which is 43. So the difference between 41.5 and 45.5 is actually massive in the totals game. I like under the total of 45.5. I think the Jets are going to struggle to score more than 17.
I agree with you there. All right, Washington at your new favorite team, the New York Giants. Giants get some backdoor cover last night, and all of a sudden now we're seeing one pick'em in town. Everywhere else is Washington -1, which is really interesting. Total 42. I've been on the Redskins the past couple weeks. They've made me some money, albeit it was not exactly pretty, either one of those W's, but I'll take it. I don't know what to make of this Giants team. That was gross.
I mean, I'm going to tell you flat out, I'm not taking a side on this game. I'm struggling, Kelly. This Giants team is so bad. And yet they have moments that are so good. I mean, they went into Atlanta and lost by 3. They went into Carolina and
but
62
that's the thing,
yards.
I feel like they're a different team on the road than they are back at home, which is making me kind of look towards the Redskins here. But
I mean, they're 0-3 at home record-wise. They're 0-3 at home ATS. But Washington is Jekyll and Hyde. I literally can't trust Washington. And when you're giving your own money out, when you're putting your money on the games, you got to at least be able to trust a team. Look, I mean, if you lose, you lose. But if you don't,
you can trust Washington at home, but I don't feel like I'm trusting them in a divisional game on the road here.
Well, they're 1-1 on the road, and they're 1-1 ATS, so they're not terrible on the road by any stretch. But I do think that the play in this game is under the total of 42 points. I mean, Washington's defense played great last week, and their offense, although they are a balanced offense, they're a dink and dunk offense. Alex Smith is not stretching the field. So, what is the difference between a 5-yard pass and a 5-yard run? There is no difference, and it keeps the clock going so long as it's inside of the, not going out of bounds. So I think the play here, honestly, is on under 42. I think the Giants are going to struggle to score, but I also think Washington's going to struggle to score. And the Giants' defense against Atlanta looked really good and were very aggressive.
Yeah, they had some good moments last night. I mean, I watched the game. Again, this is just not a side I think I want to get involved in. Seattle at Detroit. Interesting.
Very interesting game.
Very interesting game here. Sorry, let me look up the look-ahead line because I thought that was something I wanted to talk about. No, maybe not. Look-ahead line was Detroit -2.5. It's now 3. Obviously, like you mentioned, Detroit played well last week against the Dolphins, but Seattle was on a bye week. Something weird that somebody tweeted me, and I never have thought about this. Their owner died like a couple of days before their bye week. And everybody's like, oh, teams after that happens, they get up and they play a lot. And I'm like,
hey, the Chargers haven't lost.
And so it's like kind of an interesting little tidbit there. Not a full reason for me to back Seattle, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe there's a little bit more motivation for the Seattle team than there has been in the past.
Well, at least their owners saw a Super Bowl.
True.
Where the Chargers owner didn't. Listen, I'm not taking that into account at all here. I mean, I actually think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Seattle is 0-2 ATS on the road. They're 1-2 on the road this year. And they're going into Detroit, and Detroit is playing good football, like all around good football. Their defense played great against Green Bay. They played well against Miami. Their offense looks very nicely balanced. They've got a good running game. Stafford, I'm a fan of Stafford. So, I'm going to take Detroit in this spot. I don't believe in the Seahawks. They really lack a running game right now. And they're also, even at their height, Kelly, their offense has always been inconsistent. Do they win football games? Yes. But can you bet that their offense will put up 30 points on a given day or 24 points? No. Then the next week they come out and Russell Wilson runs around the field and they put up 40. It's just they're too inconsistent for my money. And on top of that, I don't feel like they're a team that's going to be in the hunt. With that said, surprisingly, they are in the hunt. I mean, they're sitting tied with about 9 other teams for that final wild card.
It helps when you're in the same division as Arizona and San Francisco.
Yeah, well, or they have to play the Rams twice. I got to take Detroit in this football game, Kel, and I also really like under the total of 49.5. It's way too big a number. I actually don't get that number. Detroit is not a high-powered offense at all, even though they have their moments where they on a particular drive they could look unstoppable. But this is not a team that is averaging 30 points scored. And Seattle could put up 6 or could put up 40. Who knows? I like Detroit's defense here, and I like how slow their offense is playing in the sense that they're really controlling their drives well. The bet on this game is under the total of 49.5, and I do like the Lions.
All right, Tampa Bay.
Why are so many teams named after animals?
I think that's just a mascot thing, right? Like, it's better than, like, the Sooners from Oklahoma, like, because they got to Oklahoma too soon. What kind of mascot is that? Wouldn't you rather have them be, like, the Panthers? I don't know.
The Panthers is good. Nice power animal.
Yeah. But, like, Buccaneers, you're a pirate? I don't know.
I think we should just head straight to the Panther game.
Oh, you want to skip over Tampa Bay, Cincinnati?
Well, no, because it is the Bengals. So we are keeping. Yeah. Oh, yeah, did they look bad last week against Kansas City?
I had a couple different bookmakers text me, and I was like, how bad of a bloodbath was it for you guys today? And most of them were like, if we can get the Bengals, we can maybe salvage the day. And I just wrote like, LOL. Like, have you seen how this day's went? There's no chance. Like, my buddy had the Chiefs early on in the week, and he goes, should I hedge to the 6-team, 8-team parlay? And I'm like, no, don't hedge. I go, the way today's going, I go, you're not even going to have to sweat this one. It was terrible. Anyway, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, look, I like Tampa Bay. I mean, I was shocked that they did not cover against Cleveland last week. They should have. By
all means, they should have. They added the lead the entire game. I'm not sure what happened in the fourth quarter because I wasn't on the game. So I don't know how it got to overtime, but
there cannot be more than 5 or 6 teams in all of football with the offensive weapons that Tampa Bay has. Their wide receiver and core is ridiculous. I mean, you could easily argue that Mike Evans is the best wide receiver in football. Deshaun Jackson stretches the field, almost as well as Tyreek Hill. O.J. Howard down the middle, what an incredible tight end. Winston is finding them. Barber is an okay, good enough running back, if you will. Tampa Bay is they've got so many weapons. And then with McCoy on defense, it's amazing this team can't put a run together, to be honest with you. And the Bengals, we've spoken about this. It seems to be the general theme of our video, but teams you can't trust. Teams that are Jekyll and Hyde. Washington, Seattle, Cincinnati. 1 week, a world beater. The next week, 10 points. Dalton, it's like when you get Dalton on a good day, life is brilliant and the sun is shining. When you get Dalton on a bad day, it's like a ruined orgasm, Kelly.
I guess so. I don't know what to do with this game. I hate the line of 5, 4.5, some spots here in Vegas, but I'm leaning towards Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay just 1-5 in their last 6 games against the spread with Jameis. Good old Jameis. Jameis is not good at covering, and that bothers me.
Yeah, you know what, Kel, I can't take Cincy.
I can't either. I don't think Cincy's the right side. laying that many points as well. Okay, now we can get...
You got to play over the total in this game, Kelly. I know it's a big number at 54, but we spoke about Tampa Bay's weapons, and look, Cincinnati at home, 2-1 against the spread, 2-1 record. AJ Green, I see this game. I could see this game being 30-27, 30-24. I think Cincinnati's going to win this game, but I'm not going to lay the side, but I do like over the total. Kel, before we get into the next game, I want to say something. We are getting between 12,000 and 13,000 views every week on this video. If you go and you look at some of our competitors, and I don't want to name any of them, like maybe if you go like pre-game and look at some of our competitors, and then you add all their videos together, every one they did that week, and the week before, and even the week before that, and then you multiply it by 2, we are still probably the most watched NFL handicapping pick show out there. But you know what, Kel? It's not nearly good enough.
What is good enough?
People, every single listener, I will give you a week of all my plays, all of them, every sport, for free if we get to 20,000 views. And Kelly will go on a date with every one of you. 20,000 dates.
Wait, 20,000 dates is a lot. Hey, wait, they have to do it this week, though.
When we'll do it this week, and then next week we'll do another one. But guys, work with us. 20,000 views. And also, if we ever get less views than Teddy covers in your show on Monday, Prez out. You know what? I got emotional just at the thought
of losing to Teddy.
I mean, how good is his voice?
I love Teddy, but I wouldn't want to lose to Teddy either.
What he says, not as good as the Prez. His voice, better than the Prez.
Hey, remember how you said we were going to keep this under 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Totally not.
Let's go.
Okay, Baltimore at Carolina. You wanted to talk about the Panthers. Here they are. Panthers catching 1.5 at home. Total 43.5 at most spots. I like Carolina. I have no idea why. I'm probably an idiot.
Why is this game at +2? I love the under too. I mean, I know I'm talking about a lot of unders, but 43 is a big number for these defensive.
I feel like this game should be a pick'em.
It was a pick'em.
Well, the look-ahead line was a pick'em.
And now it's been, there's all this money coming in on Baltimore. It's gone to +2. This is a baffling line to me, Kellen. Look, Baltimore's playing great. I mean, Justin Tucker.
I was pretty happy about that. I was on the Saints. It was one of my only winners on Sunday. I needed that to save some face.
What? I mean, he's now 222 for 223 on extra points. I think he's the best kicker in the history of the game. Real tough loss against New Orleans last week, but I think an emotional loss too, where I think Baltimore is going to come into this game really feeling down. Look, they're 4-3 on the year, but Carolina at home, 3-0, 2-1 ATS. They're also, what a comeback against Philadelphia. This Carolina team, I mean, the emotional difference in this game is so interesting. You've got Carolina coming back on Philly and coming home with a miraculous win, and you have Baltimore heading out on the road just feeling so gutted over their loss. I'm all over Carolina in this football game, and I love under the total of 43 points.
Sweet, I like it when we agree. All right, this look-ahead line was Oakland -1.5. Why Oakland should ever be favored by 1.5 over anybody right now, I do not know. Now Indianapolis -3 on the road, total of 50. I don't think I can back Oakland here, even catching 4.5 points worth of value.
Kelly, let's just move on.
Okay, perfect. You want to talk about the ugliest game on the card then? San Fran at Arizona. pick 'em and ones around town. Total 43, couple 43 and a half.
I see a bet in this game. With the Oakland-Indy game, I see nothing. I can't go over. I can't go under. I don't like Oakland. I don't like Indy. I got no idea what the hell is going to happen. I just can't stand John Gruden and his stupid visor and his really terrible hair.
You hate that visor. I'm going to get you one of those visors. I'm going to go down to the Raiders store here in Vegas and get you a visor.
Will you please make it say, "Make America Great Again"?
Sure. I'll get you a Make America Great Again visor.
A red visor that says "Make America Great Again."
Are you going to wear it in Canada?
When was America not great? Arizona and San Fran. At least there's a play here, Kellen. I think, again, on the under. I know a lot of unders. 43 points is a big number. I think this is going to be a lot of running. I would not be shocked if the combined number of runs in this game closes in on 60. I think for sure it's going to be over 50. I just see a whole lot of running in this football game. And I think this game, I mean, would you be literally shocked, like blown away shocked, if this game ended 6-3?
No. So I said this is not a game I want any part of. It is the ugliest game on the card this week.
Right.
They've already played each other, and somehow Arizona put together a complete game and beat the Niners. But then I'm looking at them, then they go to Minnesota, and they play a decent game and cover, and then they get their absolute doors blown off them by the Broncos. I don't think either one of these teams is good. I don't think I want to bet anything here. But, yeah, maybe you're right with the under there. Ends 13-10, no sweat.
Yeah, so yeah, the under is the play. And remember, guys, 20,000 views and only you get a week free of all my plays. And in order to get that week free, email Kelly at her private email address. Kelly, could you hand it? No, I'm just kidding. Email Missy, MISSY, at wagertalk.com. I feel like this is the week, Kel. 20,000, then we go for 100. Okay, Rams, Green Bay. What do you think, Kelly?
Okay, this is what my honest first thought was. Holy crap, you're giving me, when it opened at 10, you're giving me double digits with Aaron Rodgers. That was my initial, usually my first thought is kind of squarish, I'll be honest with you. And I was like, wait a minute. This Rams team has been really good. Really, really good. And then money came in on the Packers. And this Packers team, I go back and forth on. They're pretty banged up right now. I am not, even with the bye week, Aaron Rodgers and company coming off a bye, I don't think it's enough for everybody to get fully healthy. I have not been that impressed with Green Bay over the last several weeks. The Rams, on the other hand, I've been very impressed with. Again,
the best team in football.
They are. I have a really good note from something I shot a video yesterday with the good old Pack, and I think it was something like they've only been double-digit dogs 2 times since 2007, and they covered both. So,
Kelly, it's twice. What are you, 5? 2 times?
Twice. 2 times.
This is what I say to my kids all the time. 2 times, it's twice. Twice is the word. Twice is the word. All right. Okay, so big what?
Yeah, actually, in my notes, I actually have twice since 2007, and they covered both.
Yeah, because whoever told it to you speaks English.
Listen, the guy that can't pronounce Jaguar is...
Yeah, Green Bay or the Rams? Which one are you betting?
I'm taking the Rams.
-9 points, no chance for me. Look, we've spoken about...
Can I at least have 8.5?
No, you can. You know what? Take 7.5, just between the two of us. We've spoken about the fact that the Rams in Kansas City are going to have their letdown moments. And you know what, Kelly? My gut is telling me this is it. Green Bay coming off of a bye. Aaron Rodgers a little bit more healthy. But, man, Kelly, Aaron Rodgers getting more than a touchdown. I'll take them against the 85 Bears. I'll take them against Kurt Warner's Rams, if you will. I think Aaron Rodgers is like a quarterback god. I mean...
Oh, I thought that was Tom Brady.
No, Tom Brady is just damn handsome. But Aaron Rodgers, I was talking to my girl about this. He is sexy. He's got those sad eyes.
I think Aaron Rodgers is better looking than Tom Brady.
Okay, so anybody out there, any of our customers out there, if you look like Aaron Rodgers, email Kelly at her private email. I love Aaron Rodgers at kelly.com. I'm all over the Packers in this game, Kel. And you know what? Not only that, but I'm not even going to put the Rams in my teaser. Like I just feel like I want to stay away from the Rams in this football game. Green Bay needs to win this game, and Green Bay, like New England, has a tendency of getting real up for these games against great teams. The over and under is 57, and I am absolutely baffled on which way to play that one. The Rams have got a great defense too, Kel. So the play in this game, and it's going to be a great football game, is Green Bay plus the 8.5, 9 points.
All right, look ahead line on this one. Minnesota -3 even money. Now Minnesota -1 even. A couple pick'ems out here in Vegas. Money coming in on the New Orleans Saints. I bet against Coach Zimmer last week. I wanted to punch myself in the face at halftime.
But I told you. You know, Kelly, I want to stop here. I know the show's getting long, but this is so interesting. What I was saying last week about Minnesota is so interesting. You get these handicappers. I mean, you do so many interviews with all of these guys, and they know way more statistics than me. This team is, at an 8:20 game with the light on in a dome, after a loss from the road, after all of them got blown in the dressing room, are 82%. Whatever. All of these statistics in New Orleans, after on their second road game over a 10-year span with Sean Payton as the coach, blah, 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 blah. I don't handicap that way. I handicap logic. And like I said to you last week, Minnesota was the play. You've got to go to the end of the season and look back. That's what we were talking about. If Minnesota is going to end the year 11-5, 12-4, then surely they're going to beat the Jets on the road. This game here is a beaut. And it was a trade. I don't think Minnesota New Orleans was actually scheduled for 8:20. I think it was actually the San Fran Arizona game, but somebody had a brain moment and switched it up. Man, this game is going to be fun to watch, and a rematch from last year with the craziest
That's
ending.
what I was getting ready to ask you. How much is that? Do you take
zero.
into account? You take zero. 61-yard touchdown pass.
Zero.
You take zero to account. Saints have no.
Revenge does not work in the NFL, period. Here's the bottom line, Kel. Minnesota is coming home. New Orleans is going on their second road game. They squeaked out a win against Baltimore last week. And let's ask ourselves, who's better, Minnesota or Baltimore?
I think Minnesota is the better team.
Well, if Minnesota is the better team, playing at home, playing against New Orleans on their second road game, then surely Minnesota is the play here.
I think it should be at least 3.
Well, I was shocked. Well, it came out at -2.5, so there's a lot of money coming in on New Orleans, and I'm shocked that this line is a pick'em. Would I sit here and say to you, New Orleans, won't beat Minnesota in the in the NFC Championship game, or in the in the quarterfinals, or if they both wildcard teams, whatever the case may be? No. Do I think New Orleans can beat Minnesota? Sure. If this game was in New Orleans, I'm all over New Orleans. But it's not. It's in Minnesota. Minnesota needs to put some space between them and the Bears, and potentially Green Bay and Detroit. Very clogged up division. New Orleans is already 5-1 and jumping ahead again using the same sort of criteria. New Orleans is not going to be 15-1 at the end of the year. If New Orleans is going to be, say, 12-4 at the end of the year, which is an outstanding record, that means they still need to lose 3 football games. Surely one of those football games would be on the road against one of the best teams in all of football. Minnesota's the play here, Kel.
I like it. I like when we agree. All right, last but not least, Monday Night Football. New England line is 13.5. Yeah. At Buffalo. We're going to see 14s. Westgate's already got a 14. Golden Nuggets already got a 14.
What do you want? I can't bet against Tom Brady, and I ain't taking 14 points. Who's going to be
their quarterback? Derek Anderson?
It looks that way. It looks like Derek Anderson, which is why I lean on over the total.
God, you were fake yawning, and now you're making me yawn.
It looks like I'm boring you, Kel. So the play in this game is over the total. Let's call it a day. Summarize the show. Play a bit more Steely Dan. So, guys, $20 for my NFL Sunday card. Go to wagertalk.com. Use NFL20. Tweet me or put up comments if you want to ask us any questions. We'll do it next week together. If we hit 20,000 viewers this week, we will give you a full week free to every single one of you. That's 20,000 people. Email Missy at wagertalk.com.
Missy's going to kill you if she gets 20,000 emails.
I know. And Kelly is committed and confirmed for 20,000 dates with each and every one of you. So 20,000 viewers, guys. Make sure to play my hockey. Damn it, my hockey is good. Kel, take us home. And maybe, how's this for a pun, we can do it again. Who's turning?
That's all I got.
Are we still taping?
Wait, I have to say this because you didn't let me say it earlier. Earlier in the show, before we started filming, I said, Prez, do you even remember 1972? And he goes, no, I was 3 years old. I'm like, then why do you like this music? And I figured it out. Why you like the number 69? Because you were born in 1969.
Oh, yeah, that's the only reason I like the number 69. I can't come up with another reason. I'll give you a flex. Are we still taping? We're still taping,
yeah,
right?
We're still taping.
Okay, well, here's a flex for you all.
A flex for you all.
My brother Darren said, are you going to flex? So.
Are you going to dab?
No, that's the Hulk Hogan, man.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were trying to dab.
I can't remember a dab. Turn the music up and call this a show. Press out.